Hey everybody, I want to welcome you back to Time Out. My name is Joshua Fikier, and today I just want to ask you a question. I really want you to consider this question I'm getting ready to ask you. Now, can you think of a moment in your life, an opportunity that you never pursued because of a fear, because of a concern? Can you think of something that you've never did that you always wanted to do, but fear stopped you from pursuing and stepping out? Until today, there's a regret that you have. There's a what if in your mind. What if I did go after that? What if I pursued that dream, that goal? What if I didn't let fear stop me? What would be different today? Let me tell you, if you are in that boat and you can raise your hand, I can raise my hand right there with you, and so can a lot of people. Do you know today the percent of people in this world that deals and struggles with fears and phobias? Right now, statistically, it's proving that one of the number one reasons why people don't go after their dreams or pursue the things that they want in life, one of the number one reasons, one of the top reasons, is because of fears. You know, there's two types of fears that we kind of deal with when it comes to those dreams and those goals. The first one is the fear of the unknown. You know, this is a road that you've never traveled before. It's an uncharted territory. You know, you want to pursue this. You want to pursue this profession. You want to achieve this. You want to have this accomplishment, but you don't have no point of reference, nothing to compare it to. And so because of that, there's an unknown, an uncertainty, and it creates a fear. And that's one of the top reasons why some people don't go after that dream. They don't go and pursue that profession or get that certification or go after that particular degree. Because the thing is, they've never did anything like this before, and they have no point of reference. And so there's the fear of the unknown. Have you ever struggled with that? Is there anything that you wanted to do, but you've never done anything like this, but you want it so bad because when you think about it, it puts a smile on your face. It gets your heart rate going. You really want to go after and pursue it, but because you're not sure what to expect, it holds you back. The second type of fear we deal with is fears of situations based on past experiences, whether it's our experiences or someone else's. There's a road that we've been down or we avoid going down anymore because of the last time what happened. You know, you don't go after, you quit school because of the last time you were in school, you didn't do so well. That certification you really want, the last time you went and took the board for it, you didn't pass it. You know, and there's certain things that whatever it is you're pursuing, you stop going after it because the last experience wasn't such a good experience. That's fears of situations based on past experiences. And that's another reason why people walk away. They hang up their dreams. They put it back on the shelf, and they rather do something that they may not be so passionate about it, because if they're not successful doing that thing, it wouldn't hurt them as deep as it would if it was that particular thing they really wanted in life. Have you ever experienced that as well? There's two types of fear, and today I want to talk to you about confronting and overcoming fears. Because as we can see today, there's things in life that we just don't know what to expect. You see, life is full of surprises, and if we allow those situations we face in life to temper our expectations, we begin to just live life. Ever feel like you're just doing the same thing every day? You're just going through the motions, and there's nothing really exciting going on because fear is keeping you in their comfort zone. But the thing is, you never know how much time we have here. You don't know how much time we have here. You have to go after whatever it is that's on your heart. And I want to share with you something that many people are doing to confront and overcome their fears so they can finally live the life they're called to do. And I pray that if you get this today, that you get to step out and do the thing that you feel like you were called to do. You see, I'm reminded of a situation I had. You know, I was one of those kids that walked to school. You know, I lived several miles from our school. I didn't have any, ride. My parents worked early. They left the house early to go and make a living for our household. And so after my older brother and sister left, I was the oldest, and I would walk to school. And there was this one thing about our neighborhood. I'm from South Florida. Particularly, I grew up in the city of Lauderdale. And there seemed to have been some unspoken rule that if you were to have a dog, that you are not to put it on a leash, you are not to contain it in some kind of way, and just allow that dog to roam the neighborhood. And so it was not uncommon to just see dogs just wandering the streets. And so for someone who walked to school, that was something you just always had to keep in mind. But I remember this one particular morning, I was walking to school, And as I'm walking, suddenly you know when there's a dog nearby, because there's a sound that the collar makes when the dog is moving. There's a clinging of two different metals. Then you just know there's a dog nearby. And so I heard it, I didn't see it. I'm looking around and I hear a noise in front of me. And before I know it, the yard that I'm passing had a wooden fence, and the dog is squeezing itself in between a hole in the fence. I mean, by the time I turned around, half of his body was already appearing before me. And what I remember is that I turned around and I took off running in the opposite direction. I'm talking, I was a fast little kid. So before, it was no time since there was a separation between me and this house that has this dog. And I remember as I'm taking off, I'm running, when I finally developed the courage to look back to see what I saw when I looked back made me stop running. I looked back and the dog was nowhere in sight. So I stopped and I turned around, and there's one thing that I observed and I didn't realize it happened. But somewhere between me seeing the dog and turning around and taking off, at some point I dropped my book bag. And so now I'm 2 or 3 blocks down, and I see the yard where the dog was, and I see my book bag on the ground. And so now I'm faced with a dilemma, because I can easily go back home, but I remember as a kid, there was some things that I had in that book bag that was a valuable possessions for me. If it was nothing but schoolwork, I can always make that up. But I remember, I don't know what it was, but there was some stuff in that book bag that meant something to me. And I'm standing there and I'm faced with a dilemma. You see, what fear would do sometimes, fear causes you to run. It always causes you to run in the opposite direction than your desired destination. Not only would fear cause you to run away from the thing that you want in life, fear will cause you to leave some things behind that is valuable to you. Let me tell you, you'll never take possession of what belongs to you in life. You'll never arrive to what was designed for you unless you turn around and confront the fears that's in front of you. Let me tell you, you can never run to your dreams without running through your fears. And so what I want to offer you today is a theory that many psychologists use, and people use it just naturally, and it helps them to overcome their fears and actually go after the things that they want in life. And I want you to really think about how you can utilize this, because my goal, my aim for you in this timeout is to not let fear rob you of another opportunity, rob you of another thing that you want to do in life. Let me tell you, fear is a robber. Fear is a robber. And so today I want you to confront those fears that's stopping you from pursuing the life that you want to live. And so what this theory is called, it's called systematic desensitization. Systematic desensitization. And what that means is that you progressively introduce yourself to the thing that's provoking the fear inside of you, that stimulus, and then learning techniques to overcome it. But the key word here is progressive. Progressive, meaning you're doing it one step at a time. For me, as I stood there, I can recall I had to, for every step, I was taking a look to see, where is this dog? But at the same time, I'm not losing sight of the thing that I want, my book bag, which is standing there in the middle of the street. You see, yes, when you're confronting your fear, if your focus is completely on the fear, then the fear will immobilize you and you would not take any step of faith. But at the same time as you confronting those fears, you're always keeping your eyes on the prize. What is it, this thing that you want to do that fear's getting in the way of? I did a video recently, early on when I first started doing timeouts, called The Wrong Side of Fear. And that means is that there's two sides of fear. Fear is never going to go anywhere. So you can be on the wrong side of fear, where fear has you immobilized, afraid to step out when the thing that you want in life is on the other side of that fear. Some people live their whole life and die on the wrong side of fear because they never stepped out and pursued the thing they wanted. Fear is never going to go anywhere. Remember, you can never run to your dreams without running through your fears. But there's some people who's living their life on the other side of fear, doing the thing that they called to do. It wasn't that they wasn't afraid to do it. They were just willing to step out even if they had to do it afraid. And so each step you have to progressively confront the thing that has you afraid. And so I'm sitting there, but I had to do it one step at a time. One step at a time. One step at a time until I got to where I was only feet from my book bag and the dog was nowhere in sight. Maybe the dog was never thinking about me in the first place. Maybe the dog had business to take care of. He was sneaking out so he can go on his date. I don't know, who knows. All I know is that I was able to get my book bag, make sure the coast was clear, and I started heading towards my desired destination. It was only after the fact that I was able to laugh about it. But what could my life look like if I'd never confronted that fear? What could have stemmed from there? I could have spent my whole life running from everything that made me uncomfortable. But see, that's the thing. Today I want you to think about it. Let's say you have a passion to start your own business, to run your own company, which is going to result in you having to be able to speak to people to convey the message, the story behind this company. This is how you acquire clients, but you have a fear of public speaking. How do you confront and overcome that fear? Well, according to this theory, you have to put yourself in a position to where you are progressively confronting the fear of public speaking. So maybe you get somebody who's very close to you, a family member, a friend, and say, listen, just one person, you get them in the room and say, I need to be able to convey this message without letting fear stop me. So I want you to listen to me as I do my presentation and tell you about this business that I just started. And you just do your presentation in front of that person. Hear their feedback. Then next thing you know, you add another person to the room. Then you add another person until you have a room full of family members and friends, which they're still going to trigger some fear there, but you're confronting that fear and slowly building your confidence. And then this is called a simulator. And so as you are able to put yourself in a real life situation that's very close to what you're going to go through, you begin to see some things about yourself that you probably didn't know you were made of. Until that moment comes when you are in front of a room full of people, investors, clients, whoever, and you're able to tell your dream and to tell your why because you put yourself in that type of environment. This is how you begin to develop the confidence that you need to do what you got to do. So what is it that you're afraid of? What is it that's stopping you from doing the thing that you really want to do in life? What is it? What is it that's stopping you from taking that certification and being certified and going and doing the thing that you want to do rather than doing the thing you're settling for? Identify those things that's triggering that fear and then confront it. But you can do it progressively. Do it progressively. Because remember what I said, you will never take possessions of the things that belongs to you or arrive to the destination that was designed for you unless you stop running, turn around, and confront the fears that's in front of you. Because you can never run to your dreams without running through your fears. Confront those fears today and don't let fear rob you of another opportunity, because this is your moment. This is your time. This is your season. You need to go out and do the things that you're called to do. There's people dependent on the dreams that's inside of you. Your dream is an answer. Your purpose is an answer to somebody's prayer. There's something that you are called to do that's not just going to be a blessing to you, but allow the blessing to flow through you, because people needs what you're carrying. So don't let fear rob you, because when it robs you, it robs those around you who's dependent on what's inside of you. Confront that fear and don't let it rob you of another opportunity, because you're called to do great things. And so God bless you. Remember, God doesn't give you a spirit of fear, but power, love, and a sound mind. Go out and do what you're called to do, and you're going to change the world. I'll talk to you soon, and I'll see you at our next time out.
You can't restrain my mind. I look into the mirror and I look into my eyes. Cause I know what I see, and I know what is mine, and I know what you trying